Welcome to Who You Were with Patrick Noth and Sebastian Canelli. In each episode, we ask our guests to talk about a time in their life when they were significantly different.
I'll tell you, since stepping away from my UCB team, I absolutely get no emails anymore.
Great.
Except, like, I used to dread checking my email.
Really?
Like, I also have like 9 email accounts on my phone.
Yeah.
So you refresh your email and it's like, oh, what? Because you're fucking truly rolling.
Yeah.
Can I say fucking?
Yeah.
Great.
Yeah.
It's like truly rolling the dice. Is it going to be someone mad at you about some fucking old thing? Is it going to be some weird bill you heard about? Are you being sued by Housing Court or something? Like,
You know
I
what's
truly
crazy?
just dread checking my email.
And it's crazy because I keep looking.
Yeah.
Like, I don't have to look. I like will look 100 times in an hour.
Yeah.
It's like
Your email.
I should just look at the end of the day or whatever.
If I'm on my
email.
laptop, I will pull out my phone and check email on my phone when
Yeah.
I'm checking email on my laptop at the same time.
Yeah, I've done
Crazy.
that. Because one email could make your year.
I mean,
It's insanity.
my God.
It's insanity.
That's true. Maybe we are always looking for that email.
Yeah.
That's what you're looking for.
Yeah.
You're not looking for. Well, I used to on my old AOL account get like fun emails.
Yeah.
Like I used to get like emails about video games, and I would
Jib
also get,
jab. You like those jib jabs?
I love those
oh,
jib
dude,
jabs.
honestly, my dream.
My dad's dream is to be a professional jib jabber, just
Yes.
to make those for a living to send them to
I
us.
want to do original content for Jib Jab.
I mean,
That would be my dream.
not no.
It's good exposure.
Someone is booking those videos, and it's not me.
I know.
Someone is booking those dance videos in an elf costume, and I am not booking it. So,
That's
ain't no
pretty-
hate.
Speaking of dancing, you were in Pharrell Williams' Happy video.
Oh yeah, kind of.
You were in Happy?
No,
No,
kind-
yes, you absolutely
so,
were.
What do you mean, kinda?
Right.
That's
So
not-
there's this filmmaker in New York named Jeffrey Stevens. Oh my God, I haven't said his name in a couple years. But no, he was doing a project where the song they were recording different people around the city, and a couple people from UCB who were like colleagues or like more famous people had done it. Not famous. I mean, like our world famous.
Sure, yeah.
And so I reached out to this guy and said, "Hey, if you're doing this thing, I'd love to be part of the project." And he's like, "Yeah, actually, you were on my list." And we filmed me on the Queensboro Plaza train station dancing one big long take to the song "Happy," and it sort of like made its way around. It was really fun, and then it got taken down, and now it's gone. Cool.
Oh, so well, it was a great video though.
Yeah, thanks.
It was really good.
It was beautiful. It was one of those like serendipitous things where I was dancing like an idiot to music on it with like people getting on the train, and people actually started. The song was Happy, so like the people actually like turned and like smiled and laughed and
Totally.
started dancing with me. So it looked really fake, but it was like a genuine moment that strangers and I had to a song called Happy.
I think people do feel that. I totally think people forget that they were once little kids and they liked to giggle.
it's true. I mean,
People fucking forget that. You ever see a person in a suit and you'd be like, dude, you haven't fucking giggled in years, you idiot.
yeah. So like, it's funny because
You fucking idiot.
So as like people who are pursuing like comedic things in our lives, I had a weird realization. That's probably the biggest duh moment for everybody except for me. But I was just thinking sort of like philosophically, like zooming back out of my life a little bit and like, what's my purpose? What am I doing here? Just like light stuff while you're taking a crap. No. And it got down to like, doing comedy and stuff. And it's like, well, philosophically, I think it's important to have comedy in the world. And there are people who are gifted in comedy who their gift is the ability to like spark a laughter in someone or brighten someone's day.
Right.
And to the point where people are willing to pay us money for us to do that for them.
Right.
So I think that's like it's to like make it a noble thing, like a weird life thing.
Right, because you're like, I should be in the Peace Corps. This is a way. I'm really a piece of shit. But it's like, no, actually, people fucking need to laugh.
I mean, I've been sort of going through a thing where like, what am I doing with my life? What do I want to be doing? Like, am I doing the most? Am I being selfish by like squandering shit away and just like getting by in New York City?
But no, by the way, I wanted to jump back because you said UCB famous, and I'm like, who's more UCB famous than Tim Dunn?
Shut the fuck
No,
up.
I'm serious.
Yeah, who was it?
Oh, that's
Because I'm going to argue this. I'm going to argue this.
Right.
Tim Dunn, very UCB famous in my opinion.
Sure.
Great.
Yeah.
Great.
Literally one of the probably the funniest sketch actor at UCB. Dude, when I was on my team and you were paired up with us, I would sneak out just to watch your sketch.
Oh, that's I appreciate that. That's
because
really nice.
I would go, I have so much to learn from this dude right here.
That's so weird. That's so nice. I appreciate that.
And I would
That's
try
really
to
nice.
tell you that I watched your shit, but I would be like trying to act cool about it. I'd be like,
stop.
oh yo, bro, dope shit. But I would really just sneak out and go, let me see him, and I would like watch it.
That's so nice. I appreciate that.
Yeah,
that's great.
Yeah, it's the truth.
I
And
appreciate
literally,
that.
you were so funny.
Thanks, man.
You were consistently, and you know what was so beautiful? Your team also gave you space to be funny.
Yeah. We like I had a bunch of great mod teams at UCB.
Of
And
course.
they all were like good. We all like the weird thing was regardless if we did good or bad shows, which a lot of teams I did very bad shows on for a long time.
That is Mod Night.
Right. But I was lucky enough to be on teams of people who sort of like always clicked, except for one team. But for the most part, we all clicked and sort of like got each other's jams and like we're cool with like letting each other do our thing. Like this person loves to do this sort of thing. So every month or every like couple months, let's give them a chance to like really do
Yes.
that.
Or else,
such a
why
blessing.
are you there?
Yeah.
They would not be using you.
We got 5 seconds on the clock. Give the ball to Jordan. You know what I mean?
And I truly, my last mod team, which was Arch Nemesis, I really was, go to archnemesis.com.
Yeah, you can watch the YouTube videos. Amazing quality.
Yeah, you can't believe.
Nothing's better than sketch from a point of view of someone in an audience.
Really gives you the full sensation. No, but when that team, I was truly obsessed with everyone on that team. All the actors, I was like, I had talent crush on everybody. True, like
Sure.
legitimate. Like I would sit and think about Lisa Kleiman.
Yep.
I love
Weeks and
Lisa,
weeks
yeah.
later, and be giggling on the subway at some of her stupid ass said. I'm like in a rehearsal. Like, oh, these people are so good. Everyone's so funny and so cool.
That's awesome.
Isn't it great how we get to meet so many talented
Yeah.
people? It's just like incredible. I should intro the podcast. Welcome to
man.
Who You Were. My name is Patrick Noel.
What's up? I'm Sebastian Canelli.
And I'm Big DT and the DTV.
DTF.
I don't know. Yeah, that's right.
So this is a podcast where we bring on comedians. We ask them about a time in their life when they were significantly different. We have the remarkable Tim Dunn here with us today. Yes.
We love you.
Sebastian, you want to throw out some credits for Tim? We just talked about Mod Night. We talked about
What credits to it? You?
Oh, I don't know. I've done some.
I've seen you on some television.
You've been on
Oh
TV.
yeah, I hosted a music video show on Fuse. I did a couple
Here we go.
things on The Last OG.
Yeah, you were on The Last OG.
Yeah.
I knew that.
Some things, a bunch of pilots and stuff that no one will ever see.
Yeah, isn't that beautiful?
I mean, it truly worked. I've worked months of my life on television shows on professional, gorgeous sets that no one will ever see or experience,
Yes.
or even know I did practically because those don't air, and they don't matter if no one's seen you be hilarious in a thing that's not airing.
No, it doesn't. And then you can't even show those footage to anyone. It's literally the dream. The dream is to work so hard on something that no one will ever know happened.
You'll
Brutal.
never get credit for being hilarious
Yes.
or booking even.
Yeah, it's actually tremendous. Unless an article is written about you and then they barely say your name.
My
It was all a dream.
Oh God.
Yeah, that's awesome.
shit.
Well, congrats on that thing.
Yeah, great. Thanks.
yeah.
Really hoping it gets
Congrats
bought.
on all those pilots.
Did you do scenes with Tracy at the Last OJ?
Yeah.
Was he nice?
Unbelievably funny and nice and kind, and I was blown away. And Cedric the Entertainer too.
Cedric.
I did
I love
my
Cedric.
scene. My big scene was with Cedric.
You talked to me about this.
And I sort of went in and I was bummed when I got the final scene that it was all with Cedric because I'm like, oh no, I want to like get some FaceTime with Tracy.
Sure.
Just because I'd seen him at the Comedy Cellar recently, and I couldn't believe how. I mean, he had a traumatic brain injury a couple
Yeah.
years ago, and those take a while.
Yeah.
But when I'd seen him at the Comedy Cellar, he was back and as alert as ever. But like, you're not. It's he's like a hilarious dude. You want him to be like you meeting like a hero, sort of. You know.
Yeah.
And he was just as cool and funny. And he had a boombox outside in the street. We were shooting in Brooklyn and Williamsburg. And anyone who walked by, he had a boombox on his shoulder, was dancing. He was like, "What's up, man?" Like everybody, it's me, Tracy Morgan.
Not part of the show.
No, just like on breaks outside.
Boombox. Yeah, I love
outside.
that.
Like it was
He just wants to have fun.
So it's such a joy. It's like the joy of doing it is still alive in that man.
That's
Sure.
awesome. I imagine after something like that happens, you're just like, why would I care?
Yeah.
Why would I not fucking bring a boombox and dance everywhere I go?
Also, Tracy Morgan's funny is inside of him.
Yes.
It's not like he's Dimitri Martin.
Yeah.
That he's like,
No.
I need my brain to be.
No.
It's so funny because Tracy Morgan's also someone that you're sort of like, how did this guy get famous? But I guess it's sort of like the only way. He probably didn't have his sights set on being famous.
He did a sketch show at the Apollo.
Yeah.
I think. Did you ever
Really?
watch his?
He wasn't someone
that's
who
what
was
he's
like,
doing.
I feel like when you're that sort of open about it and he just had this natural weird thing. I think a lot of those guys did.
Did you ever watch his SNL audition?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's actually wild because it's
I haven't seen
funny,
it.
but also not funny.
It's crazy.
It's
man,
also
I'm gonna watch
aggressively not funny.
You're watching
but
it, you're like,
he's
I
very
can't
funny.
believe he's funny in it, but you're like, someone chose to do these things. Like this was his final draft of
Yes.
this audition.
Oh, so the written material not good, but he's just funny.
No, it's like
He's funny
obvious that
enough.
he's funny. But it's like, oh man,
That's
like
a good strategy.
that would make me so panicky to think that mine would look like that, which is probably why I am not in the position he's in. That is some fucking truth right there.
Yeah.
Get out of your own way.
He literally just did whatever. He literally did an
I just fell
impression
asleep
of
now.
some
I just
kid
got
down
so
the block.
relaxed.
Did you?
I released myself from that. Yeah.
Is he improvising or is he wrote-
Improvising but there's a
Right.
script that he follows.
Yeah,
but
but
they
it's
get like barely one clean take, and he is improvising fucking funnier jokes. There was
Yes.
like there was
I
a
love
restaurant scene, so it was like this big, a packed restaurant in Brooklyn with all these extras and background actors, and before the scene would start, he and his co-star, which was a date, he made something like, oh, you look nice tonight. And he said something like, oh, you do too. Then some like Tracy Morgan-ism, like some like whatever. And he improvised shit every time, and the background actors would ruin the takes because they would laugh. So he said something like, you look so good. I got a lion in my pocket. It's about to roar. Roar. And the people went fucking, and the background actors were going crazy.
Yes.
He like improvised that truly out of nowhere.
I love
and
that.
it was so funny. But Cedric the Entertainer was also so funny.
Yeah.
He improvised like so well and seamlessly. I couldn't believe how like, I mean, it sounds so rude to say how good he was. Because I think
stand-ups you don't know.
yeah, and I think also when people get older to a certain point, they just start like, I know my shtick, I know my lane,
Right.
I do this specific thing and nothing else, and he was so good.
I feel
was
like
blown away.
the best feeling in the world is having somebody, first of all, breaking anybody on a set, but also having somebody say cut and having the whole crew and everybody burst into
totally.
laughter.
Oh, there was
Nothing better.
Cedric's dates in this. I was like the bitchy waiter. Cedric's date was this actress in New York who she played this hooker, and she was also improvising so hard, and I was having to fight to not fucking break.
Yeah.
It was
Yeah.
crazy. It was
Yeah.
like so fun. It really was like, oh man, this is the dream job where you're actively having so much fun while you're doing it that like you're tickled by it. Like, come on, that's it.
Sounds
Are
like a
you-
great director, fun director.
Yeah.
Are you good at improvising through like scripts?
Yeah.
You are.
So
That's like
fun.
that's all I want to do.
Sure.
Semi-scripted stuff is the most fun thing I've ever done.
I like having a script. Like I like seeing what the point of view that the writer wrote for this person is.
Yes.
It's like seeing specifically then understanding that person from like their point, and then being able to put your own things, like your own stank on it. So I like improvising based on a script, or like loosely doing the script.
Yes,
and having a writer or someone say, "Hey, we need this part exactly this," and be like, "No problem."
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do
that's
it on the
dream.
script 1 or 2 times and then they let you do what you want. Oh my God,
Yeah.
so fun.
Love that shit.
Yeah, there's a ton of pilots out there with that. No one's ever going to see them.
Never.
Okay, so
And no one will care about them. But believe you me, okay.
they exist.
Yeah, no one cares.
I
It doesn't
swear to God,
matter.
they exist.
I don't feel dead.
They're really all this work that no one will ever see or know about.
I booked it.
Really makes everyone think I'm doing more than nothing.
Did you think of a time in your life you wanted to talk about?
Yeah, I mean, like, I don't know if this is jumping the shark or this is corn dog, but too bad.
I didn't understand either of those things.
Great. I said I don't know if this is like going to be jumping the shark or to corn dog, but my time when I feel
I love how I didn't understand and you just said it slower.
right. Great. No, because I was going to say right now, I'm in a period of
I'm
my
not
life.
backing off those 2 terms. Jumping the shark or corn dog, you
don't know
figure
what
it out.
Jumping the shark means?
No.
Oh my God, it means like when a sitcom in like the 90s would sort of bail on its whole
Yeah, it would essentially
Premise.
go against
It
the
would bail
grain
on its own
of-
premise.
That's from when the Fonz jumped over a
Over the
shark.
shark. Yeah,
exactly.
that's
So that's where it
exactly
came
what it
from.
is.
But whenever a sitcom,
I love that you know the Fonz
Like,
jumped over
when-
a shark, but you don't know the term.
when like
fucking jump the
when
shark.
Roseanne revealed that like when Roseanne won the lottery.
When Roseanne was
like,
racist.
okay.
Now the premise of the
Okay.
show's gone.
Yeah, when you bail on your own premise of the show.
This is awesome.
Oh, I didn't realize that. So
yeah.
she was like, "Oh, I'm rich now."
She won the fucking lottery.
Oh, that's
And
crazy.
she was like a bajillionaire all of a sudden. It was like, then later she revealed like, it was all a dream and I'm writing this in a book. I was like, Roseanne, go to bed.
When it didn't do well, it was
Go
a
to
dream.
bed, Roseanne.
No, Roseanne thrives in the middle of the night when she's awake. So leave her
I
alone.
always
listen.
make it a dream if it doesn't work out.
Any TV show I ever sell, I will aggressively hang on to that until you rip it out of my hands. If that means I have to physically jump a shark myself, come and get me, boo.
All right, it's not jumping the shark. It's not corn dog. What are we talking
I'm
about?
saying right now.
Yeah.
Like right now, I had like a really weird, interesting year last year, and I had a birthday a couple weeks ago. I turned 38. Thank you so much for all your cards.
You look great.
Thank you. No, and I realized on my birthday this past year that I feel the best I think truly I've ever felt in my entire life.
Oh, that's wonderful.
Like mentally, physically, like sort of like life purposely, spiritual.
For those of you listening at home, Sebastian and I just started crying.
That's awesome.
Cool.
I've been crying this whole time.
How do we, what are we going to jump back to show like this, transition if possible?
I don't know. I think so.
Working at the ride.
Working at the ride. No, like I sort of broke it down. I realized, because I was thinking about it for today too. I think like being someone whose artistic passion is also your career muddies things after a while. Like it starts like you don't have a hobby. It's your whole life. Like your whole life is the thing that you're trying to succeed at professionally.
Yeah, sure.
So it feels unattainable at a certain point, or like you're having to fight for it.
Yeah.
And so I think that gets in conflict. That got in conflict with me. I'd always been doing theater. I'd always sort of been an artsy, fartsy, dancey, singy kid. Gay, surprise. That was code for gay. No, when I went to college, I started to got my equity card in like high school and started doing professional theater.
Wait, you got equity in high school?
Yeah, I was a dancer and a musical theater person. So I was doing professional theater. Then I went to high school and college, and then
Were you doing tours in high school?
No. My parents were
okay.
Like it was like family McFamily.
Gotcha.
In the Midwest, and then
Where? I'm sorry. Where are you from again?
well, I grew up in the Chicago.
I can't believe I don't know this. You grew up right by me.
Naperville.
Oh, you grew up in Naperville.
Yeah.
Oh my
My
God.
parents lived in Wheaton. They just moved like 6 months ago to Florida.
I used to play a character on a radio station. I'm not supposed to say this. This is like you're not supposed to say it. But he was called.
Were you Man Cow?
He was called DJ Knuckles, and he was from Naperville. And it was like a Chicago. It was like a big radio station.
Yeah.
And I would call in like maybe twice a month and be like, "Yo, I'm a cool white dude from Naperville," and then I would rap. And
Oh, man, that's my
they
life.
loved it. It was a great shtick. I mean, it was literally
You're a
like
good rapper too.
Oh my God, no!
So
I would.
God bless them for snagging that shit.
No, it was like
For like the $10 in McDonald's gift cards a month you got for it.
I had to do it badly, intentionally bad.
Oh God.
So yeah.
Why wouldn't they just get someone that's
Just
bad
get
at
me
it?
to do it.
Like, let's get someone that's good at it and then force them to fucking go against all instincts.
I'm sure they didn't even know that I was good. It's not like I ever present. I just was like, they were like, who can be an idiot white guy who is trying to be. So like that's where they found me.
Yeah. I mean, and it runs deep. It runs deep over here.
So you did theater all your life?
Yeah. And then I went to college. I went to Northwestern for theater.
Yeah.
I graduated early because I booked a job in Chicago theater, and I was like working in theater.
Chicago theater, by the way, better than New York. Off-Broadway stuff, better than New York.
Actors can make a living in Chicago musical theater. Actors can make a living, and you're not making a Broadway living. It's work. It's sort of like, this is not pejorative. It's like blue collar theater.
Yeah. You're
working in theater, and then when you don't book a show for a couple months, you're working backstage at one of the theaters, doing wardrobe changing. And
so you learn a lot.
So, you're working in theater.
Yeah.
And my first show I ever did in Chicago theater, I was like some dumbass 17-year-old kid. And, no, I was in college. I was like 20. And my dresser was this woman named Paula Scrofino, who is a grande dame of Chicago theater, like Gypsy Rose Lee and Dolly.
Yeah.
And she was my dresser because she just had nothing booked and needed those equity weeks.
Wow.
And so to get weeks, so it's like, it was great.
It was a hustle.
Yeah. So I never got
but
to
the community must have been tight then.
Amazing. Everyone sort of watched this back, and it was very hard to break in. I sort of snuck in because I was a man who danced. So they could put me in the ensemble of shows, and I could also cover like the funny lead guys.
Yeah.
But no, so I could never like study abroad when I was in college because I couldn't leave my acting program at Northwestern. We had to start over. So I just it's always just been performing.
Yeah.
I got to New York and did that stuff and did some regional stuff, was in the folder for some Broadway stuff. Just kept on going.
What does that mean, the folder?
When you get to a certain point in like callbacks for Broadway, Broadway shows don't always audition when they need someone immediately. They're required to have a couple auditions per year by equity rules.
Cool.
just in general.
Yeah.
So if you went in and you were actually good and you got called back for those general, whatever the mandatory calls they had to do, if you got to a certain point, they'd be like, oh, let's check back with this guy every couple months just to make sure that, in whatever we do need someone, we have a folder of people to go. So it's so I was in like a folder for a bunch of different roles for broad, where they like maintenance call you back for stuff.
Cool. Wow.
Cool. I took an improv class that sort of transitioned into thing and into comedy and commercials and TV stuff. And
but what you're describing is like like sort of like where we all can get sometimes, which is just like, oh shit, career. I got to do this. I got to do it all the time. Like which can be brutal.
Yeah. I mean, it gets to be a grind, I think, and I don't even think I realized it was a grind.
Because you loved it.
That could be because I told myself I loved it, and because I.
What do you mean? You told you?
I think So the reason I feel different now is because I'm excited to create stuff again. Like I got myself to this place where everything felt so fraught with like, who's going to see this? Where is this going to go? What is this saying about me? What is this putting forward? Like, what kind of roles will I book with this? Will this character show this for the showcase? And like, blah, blah, blah. And nothing was just because I was like a Tracy Morgan spirit. And like, this is what I like to do. So I'm just going to like it all felt like it was getting calculated. And it was all getting older and older and not booking a big enough thing.
It became work. It became a job.
It became like, why haven't I booked the big thing yet? My big thing yet? I'm getting older. What's happening? And so you start panicking and controlling the things you can control. And then all of a sudden, like, it wasn't fun. It started feeling like calculated moves. And there was a lot of joy. Like, let's be real. I had a blast. My mod team was my highlight of my week. But I think I also just like being around people that were like me too. So that was another thing where I knew this group of people understood what I was fucking going through.
By the way, Tim, you are such a fun presence to be around. Like, like we're having worked with you, like it was just like you're such a joy to be around.
Thanks,
and I just wanted to let you know that.
I appreciate that. No, I appreciate that. I hope that's what I'm like. But I think there was a period where I don't think I was, or if I was, it was very much slapped on. Where I think everything sort of took a toll and was grinding, and I culminated with like a year ago. I'd finally gotten like a fancy enough agent that was getting me in for fancy TV and fancy film stuff, and my agent fucking dropped me because I was the least famous person on their list, and they had to make a list cut.
Yeah, sure.
And they had already famous people, so I got dropped, and all of a sudden was this dude with like no access anymore to anything. And it was like, fuck, what am I doing? Like, do I care enough to start over again? Like, do I like this enough?
Yes. Yeah.
Or is this like a clean break? Is this a moment where I can like reassess? Do I want to be doing this really? Like, and that's what it was. Last year was that year where I sort of gave myself some space to be like, do I like this even? Is this what if I could do anything without any obligation, not feeling any sense of failure, where would I go and what would I do?
Yeah.
Because I mean, I never thought I'd be 37 years old and bartending on the weekends and single in New York City, auditioning for fucking Valtrex fucking commercials. Right? But like, it gets to be a grind. And it's like, wait, big pause. Do I still love this? Does this make me feel joy? Does this Marie Kondo my fucking, like, is this a thing that I really love?
Yeah.
And if so, like, what do I love about it? What is the purpose of all of it? Like, so I've had a big year, and I think I've sort of come to a weird spot where I'm like I feel the best I felt in a long time.
How do you figure out if you love it or not? Do you talk to friends or do you like just you?
I just stopped.
You stopped. You saw if you needed it.
I stopped a lot of stuff. I sort of realized I'd started doing a lot of things because I felt like there were things that I should be doing.
100%.
Cool.
Like stand up. I'm an actor. I want to be an actor who someone hands me a script for a thing and I do the script. I don't want to be someone who writes the script and does the script. I don't want to be someone who books a stand-up special and then gets a TV show based on my persona. Like,
sure.
But these are points of access, and people see you're capable maybe of these things and point you towards those things. So all of a sudden you're doing all this stuff that other people are saying you should be doing, and very little of it is what you want to be doing.
Yeah. It was the Gethard episode. We kind of talked about this too, where I think I said after he talked about doing the Gethard show, leaving, his agent and stuff, I was like, like I asked myself sometimes, what would you do if you didn't care what anybody thought and you didn't have to worry about money? I mean, obviously that's like not a situation, but if it was a situation, then like, what do you love? you know, and it's really hard to get out of that thing of like, what do people think of me?
Well, I've been doing this my whole life. So that's the whole point is I've been doing this since I was a kid. So this was my hobby as a little kid. And then it became my study in college and then my career. And then like this desperate grab for a career. And I don't think I never got to take a world trip. I never got to study abroad. I never got to do these like life-changing trips because I was always doing this. So I think I never had a break before.
Because you can't allow yourself to. Because that'll be the 1 week that something happens. That's checking your email every hour.
You're afraid you go away for 3 months and you come back and not a casting director remembers you, or your team won't take you back, or your bartending gig is gone. Like so, and also you stay in your lane for so long that you never get a break to say, wait, hold up. Do I really love this? What do I love about it? Like, what is this? What do I want to be doing with my life? Period. Yeah. Like beyond all this, is this what I want to be doing with my life?
Yeah.
What do you like about performing? Do you like you doing it, or do you like the feeling of the people coming back at you?
I like both.
Sure.
I sort of got to a point where I told you I realized that for better or for worse, like everyone has a gift at something, and I think mine is a certain thing I can give to people from stage, like a certain joy, a certain like experience of joy.
Yes.
Or this will make me start crying too, because I've been thinking about this so much. Sure. Like a certain experience of joy giving to people that they're willing to pay money to get from me.
Yeah.
Because like they're at a point in their whatever where it's not readily accessible to them, and it's readily accessible to me. I feel joyful all the time.
That's awesome.
So it's sort of like it's something that I get great joy from. I think knowing that people are getting great joy from.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I know what you mean.
Where it's like throughout history, there's always been storytellers, and there's always been people who people have gone to take them out of their life for a minute and take them somewhere more fun. So I don't think it's like it's not unique and it's not special. This has been around forever.
No, yeah, it's totally not unique and special, but it's important.
It's been a calling forever. There's always been storytellers. There's always been jesters and people. So like to frame it in that way, it's not some silly little thing that I'm doing with my friends in a basement theater on the weekend. It's a thing that's bringing people joy.
Yeah.
And it might not be bringing me money or like giving me the lifestyle that I always saw myself having, but I think like it's serving a purpose in the world. So like it feels connected to the world in a way. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
This all seems very stoner right now.
No, but it is like letting go of that, letting go of the results and just being like, oh, this is a fun thing that I get to do and I love it.
Yeah.
That's great.
But it's also like giving me joy. And it's like, I think that's the whole point, right?
Yeah. Do you have a video that you go and watch that you connect to remind yourself of like why you do this or something? Or do you have something that you read or?
No. I mean,
Sure.
I think really I just took a break. I sort of started weaning myself off of doing stand-up shows, and
I've seen you do stand-up. You're great.
Thanks.
Yeah.
I mean, it's fun, I guess, but it also feels very much like work, and it feels very much a little joyless. Like the feeling after stand-up sometimes is just about the worst feeling when it goes badly. Yeah. And it's like, I never want to walk away from a thing I'm doing for free or for like joy, feeling terrible.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No.
Do you still host your show?
Yeah. I host a show called Queer Ball.
Yes.
Listener. We'll be the last Friday of every month at the new Subculture Space.
So what do you do if you don't do stand-up at that show?
I'll do a character or like a parody song or something.
You're doing something that you just want to do.
Or I'll just I honestly will tell a story. I'll sort of tell a story. And that's what my stand-up ends up being. But I sort of stopped caring. It's like, I'll do whatever I do.
And if you're doing stand-up or telling a story, it's not like stakes. The stakes of it are like, oh, this is my entry point.
Yeah.
And to whatever.
And it's never like, it doesn't feel like I'm doing it for like to be seen for a showcase. It feels like I'm just doing a thing that I want to be doing that I think is funny. And like, I don't care if it says anything about me or if it says I'm stupid or, that I'm basic. I'll just, if a funny thing happened on the subway, I'll do a funny story. And then I know people always laugh. Yeah. And it's like, oh, I don't care. It's sort of like throwaway shit,
well, that's also your gift is that people will always laugh.
Yeah, I mean that's like maybe that's crazy.
Not everyone could just go. I'll just do whatever I know. Everyone, I know they'll always laugh.
But I mean, it's sort of like if it's something that I find stupid and silly, I know if nothing else, I can present it in a way that people will find silly.
Yes.
So it's like there will be some sort of silliness, some sort of joy given from here to there.
Of course.
And also, some nights I'll just host the show. I won't do a bit.
Yeah.
Or whatever.
So now are you like just totally like I'm only doing what I love?
I don't know.
You're still, I don't know. No, this is beautiful.
Yeah. I don't know. I've never said I don't know.
I want to ask you specifics, like commercial auditions. Do you enjoy those enough to do them still?
Yeah, yeah. Because I think commercials sort of feel like work. It doesn't feel like a creative outlet. It feels like
Gotcha.
It's silly and stupid and arbitrary.
It's like your bartending job in a way. Yeah,
it's like silly and stupid and arbitrary. It doesn't like occupy my brain space. I'm not like cutting my fucking phone cord off if I don't book a butthole cream commercial. Like it's like, who cares?
Yeah, totally.
Don't call
doesn't
me back.
reflect your
Don't
art
call me back.
at
I don't
all.
care. I don't even want to do this. I don't care if you don't call me back.
Is there a specific thing or like a job where it's just like, oh, no, I'm not going to do that anymore. I would rather just, hang out or do blank. Or even just like, is there a specific work life, like, are you like, I'm going to travel more?
I don't know, man. The weird thing is, like, I think I'm still in the I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah, I get that.
I'm sort of like, I stepped off my mod team in the fall, in maybe like October, and was like, I'm just going to chill. I'm just going to sort of float and see what happens. And I booked some stuff. I booked some fun stuff that you'll never see. Pilots you'll never see, probably. Or maybe ones you will. But I've sort of been like, oh, I don't have to do the other stuff. Like, it makes you feel a little crazy to be always doing stuff and none of it like is what you want to be doing. It feels like just stressful and exhausting.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Just running, kind of like, running and running and running. I had a similar, like, sort of, like, I was like, what am I doing? I don't like doing this.
Yeah.
Like I think, like, I stopped auditioning for commercials at one point because I was like, well, first of all, I don't book these.
Yeah. It's a waste literally of my time.
Like, I'm like, what? Like, if we divide the amount of these that I booked by my time,
Totally.
I'm getting paid 2 cents an hour to come do these.
100%. And no one wants me to sell their peanut butter. Hey, look at this peanut
No
butter.
one's looking to me for their boar's head meats. Thumbs up.
Actually, I would crush a Boar's Head Meats commercial. Can I be the Boar's Head man?
I'm sure you could. Honestly, they'd give that to you in a minute. They'd be delighted.
I would be a great Boar's. See, I would only do a Boar's Head commercial because I like Boar's Head.
That's why they need. Listen, if someone knows Boar's Head, tag him in this.
Literally, I would be driving. My mom would pass the deli. She goes, "They got Boar's Head there." Because they would put the fucking stick on the window.
What are we talking about? What's your favorite boar's head? Are you talking like
My favorite? Well, Boar's Head does a good job mixing up the turkey.
That's right.
You know,
We got
they take
pepper
a classic turkey. They got
honey
cracked
turkey.
pepper. No, I don't fuck with honey. I
neither.
fuck with the salsalita. You ever fuck with that?
Yes.
What about pepper turkey? Pepper turkey's good.
Pepper, yeah, he
Love
wants me to say I
pepper
like
turkey.
pepper turkey. I like pepper turkey.
That's good stuff.
I like the spice. I like a chicken buffalo.
What?
There's like a chicken buffalo. You never had this?
No.
Dude,
Oh, yeah.
you gotta fuck with that. I bet you.
You
Dude,
gotta get a hold of some chicken buffalo.
I hate
Boar's
to.
head.
I don't fuck with lunch meat anymore.
what?
I know.
What
I
do
don't know.
You why not the nitrates?
No, I just haven't. I realized when I like growing up, that's all we had sandwiches for every meal. And when I moved, I'm not really, whatever. But when I moved to New York, that just wasn't something I started doing on my own.
Dude,
For no reason.
What about
But
a big
the
cut of
sandwiches-
pastrami or
Never. I was
corned
like-
beef or something like that?
I stopped eating red meat a bunch of years ago just for like fruity tooty reasons.
Sure.
Just like
Someone else was
being a
doing
hippie
it
and like
and then-
saving the planet. Cool. So it's been years since I've done that. But I only do like turkey or chicken or fish.
Yeah. It is actually saving the planet, by the way. It's
I mean,
not-
right. But that's so crazy
no,
to say it.
I'm
to
gonna say
somebody.
this right now. You're not saving the planet.
I
bro.
know I'm not. That's
No,
why I
no,
said it
Literally,
like that.
You not eating red meat is doing nothing to the planet.
I
No,
brought
no,
like
no,
7
you're
plastic
wrong.
cups
No,
and straws
you
with
are
me when I
incorrect.
came here
I
today.
know. Fuck off. You are not saving the planet. Enjoy a fucking hamburger.
Listen, I don't know. Listen. Well, the bad news is this. I didn't eat meat for a while, and then I tried again, and I got sick from red meat.
Okay, so that's a
and
good
the
reason.
doctor told, like, I went to some like a CVS like minute clinic, and they were like, I bet your body produces the enzyme that breaks down the protein. Your body stopped doing it. And I was like, what? So whenever I eat red meat, like my stomach will churn.
What's a minute clinic?
So your
Like
body.
the fucking CVS clinic in the CVS. Like
Oh,
the
you
nurse
just-
in the
There's a
CVS.
nurse and it just
Yeah.
says like, hey, why don't you take this antibiotic?
Yeah, exactly. If you're like, hey, I have the sore throat, they're like, here's some amoxicillin or something.
Whoa, that's good to know.
Yeah. Yeah, get
That's
into
good
it.
to know. I'm going to go there all the time now.
I am so crazy that I want to dive into how bad beef is for the world.
No, great.
You can't.
I'm not going to. I'm not going
Patrick
to.
is insane about this stuff.
I'm not going
you
to.
vegetarian?
I eat beef. No, I eat beef occasionally. I was a vegetarian for years and years, but I eat meat occasionally now because I'm like hypoglycemic. But like but beef is like really the worst.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's really bad.
And the thing is, like, we have the technology in our society today and in science and in medicine to make much better proteins for us to eat than beef. Like, it's even not really good for our bodies.
No.
And we have the knowledge and the science now to have
Crush up
plant-based diets that are much like better for our bodies.
Yes.
And to like hold on to this weird 1950s, like we have to have beef with every meal mentality is truly crazy given the advancements of medicine and knowledge about our bodies and the planet.
Yes. Yes.
So you did, I said before, you did lose a bunch of weight.
I did.
When did you lose weight? Was it during this time?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. So my big fancy agent dropped me and I sort of had like a month of feeling bad for myself. And I'm like, what am I doing? I'm a fat fuck. Like, I'm not going to book anything. I am always like,
if you're overweight, you can't book?
No, just like,
no.
relax, ma'am. Relax, ma'am. Eyes on your own paper.
I'm fucking with you.
No, but I was looking at the guys that were booking the roles that I was up for.
Sure. Yes. I go in for stuff that's like big, loud, obnoxious.
But I was too, and
Were you?
but I always was in between. I never was like the big enough big guy, and I never was. So I was sort of like the schlubby guy ish, but never really schlubby enough to look like the schlubby guy.
Yes.
So it was like it was like, so get it together. Either I'm going to go full big boy, or I'm going to get it together and figure out how to eat as an adult to get myself in like normal, passable size medium shirt.
Okay.
It's funny to me that our industry is so dumb that they're like, if you don't fit this particular archetype that's worked in the past, I don't want to fuck with it.
Yeah.
You know what? And most people live in that world of like, I'm not hot, I'm not horrible.
Yeah. Yeah.
I shouldn't even say hot and horrible. That's so disgusting, actually. But that's what's
I'm not
inside my
hot
head.
and I'm not a piece of garbage.
Commercial breakdown that's like either like dumpy pile of garbage guy, doesn't know how to put more sentences together, or like hot smoking wife, like body to kill for. Like we objectify ourselves. We sort of throw ourselves into those categories a little bit too.
Horrible. So you were like, I'm going to just put effort into this.
Well, I sort of
yourself.
I was unhappy with the way I looked. I think and it was sort of like I got that breakup that my agent and I breaking up was like a breakup.
Did they take you out to coffee or was it an email?
She called me and it was very sweet. She called me and she was really upset. And then my commercial,
because they know how funny you are.
My commercial agent, and I think she really loves me, and she really likes me, and she would come to my shows and stuff. I think she genuinely was really pulling for me. But ultimately, for your agent, you're just a number in a spreadsheet, and they have a boss. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it was sad. It was really sad because I knew that she really believed in me, and she told me that. But then my commercial agent, who was under the same agency, called to check on me and was like, "Hey, heads up, she's really upset." So it bummed me out, but it felt like a breakup. So I was like really devastated.
Yeah.
And I didn't know what to do, and I just felt like, oh my God. And I'm like, well, I'm miserable. I feel bad the way I look. Maybe I felt this way for a long time and haven't really addressed it in a way that's been real. I'm gonna do something about it. So I did.
Great.
And I got bariatric surgery. No, just kidding.
We were talking about this earlier, and you were like, "I feel
cryo
great."
freeze every day for fucking a year.
I drank Slim Tummy Tea. Use my promo code. That's all it takes.
This dude's fucking eating green tea extract nonstop. He's the king of Instagram products. He fucking clicks through on everything.
Sorry.
But you said you feel great as a result.
Yeah.
Well, was there something specific that you think like, oh, I used to eat this and it made me feel like shit?
I mean, I was drinking a ton.
Yeah.
I'm still a person who drinks a lot. But I was just drinking so much. I think it also sort of like was because I was like bummed out in my life. Like like I said, like having someone say like you're a joy to be around is so nice. But looking back, I think I wasn't for a while. Like I always would hope I am, but I think I was bummed out by a lot of stuff. Like the industry got to me, like not being successful, and like celebrating your friends getting successful around you is one thing. And I truly get so excited when my friends succeed.
Yeah,
of course.
But like there's that piece of you where it's like, oh man, like
when is it my turn?
Yeah, and it bummed me out so deeply that your
paradigm changed.
Yeah.
And so just like how you're like, I need to start focusing on myself. Like, I think that's why I brought it up, because it felt like a moment that like, it was like, okay, I've been looking at my career so much, just like how taking a trip is focusing on yourself.
Yeah.
Like it's starting to like eat healthy and stuff like that. Is focusing on yourself.
Yeah. I mean, I think I just felt bad. I think I sort of realized in this breakup with my agent that I'd felt bad then.
Yeah.
But even before she broke up with me, it's like, oh man, I feel bad now, but like I think I felt bad about myself before.
Sure, sometimes.
Or like I felt eaten alive, and like maybe the release of a big fancy agency letting me go.
Yeah.
Maybe like felt like, oh, I can start doing this for nothing again.
Yeah.
I can like, I don't have to do it because all these fancy people are making me or watching me or like really depending on me for their livings to book things so they make money as an agency. Like maybe having the freedom of that going away was like, oh, I can just do, none of this fucking matters.
It allows you to slow
this
down
is my
and look
own
at
life.
it, sort of, yeah.
It's my own life. I can do whatever I want. I can go be a nurse somewhere. I can go work at a ski shop in the middle of the mountains. Like I don't have to do this if it doesn't bring me joy. I don't have to do this.
It's so funny that like you just like people decide I do this.
Yeah.
And this is the only like profession like or the creative stuff that if you stop doing it, it's considered a failure.
Yeah.
But if someone stops being a construction worker to go work at the post office, no one fucking blinks twice. They go, oh, that's nice.
Amazing. Changing careers.
Yeah. But for some reason,
You're a failure. Like
failure.
I think it's because
brutal, yeah.
I think it's because the only moniker of success, like Jeff Hiller and I have had this conversation. Jeff Hiller is someone who I so admire. I think he's the funniest person I know.
funny.
He is effortlessly funny.
Oh,
He's,
so funny.
impossibly funny. He's so
disgusting.
and so kind and lovely and just like the nicest man.
But also honest and cuts through your bullshit.
Yeah. Oh, dude,
And
like,
so nice.
smart. I'm
So
obsessed with Jeff Hiller.
Yeah.
We had a conversation about the career and like sort of life of a blue collar actor. How people don't care about you until you're the white collar level actor.
Because he's on shit.
Yeah.
And he's probably considers himself a blue collar
Yeah.
actor.
But like doing this sort of level of
He's
stuff
been
that
on
like
Broadway like so much.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
But people don't see that stuff, and people don't recognize like that you make a living through cobbling through gigs sometimes, and like that's a working class actor's life, and it's not necessarily the glamorous one you think, and it maybe seems insane, but you know, that's how most of us live.
Yeah.
We're gonna cut it through the bullshit. He did something the other day. It was like me and two other people are doing this job, and he goes, and he's familiar with it, and he goes, "How much are you all getting paid? Say it right now."
Totally. No, I'm the same way.
Because he was like, "You should know that about it because you should be able to like push back if someone's getting more than the other person."
The minute I ever get a gig where they don't BCC the other actors, I immediately respond to everyone over the email and cut out the producers and say, I'm getting paid this much.
Because you need to team together.
Yeah.
Because for some reason, even in jobs, it's like them versus the actors.
Yeah.
And it's like, let me fuck over the actors. I don't know how many times I've been on, done something, and if I know everyone else is getting paid except the people that are performing.
I mean, it's so fucking frustrating. It's like, and not only are they getting paid, they're in the union on a non-union fucking shoot. And all that, none of the actors are in the union, and you're not getting. It's so fucking
union
crazy.
stuff too, man. With the new media contracts, we're getting
insanity.
screwed. I did a job maybe a month ago with a couple actors that you know,
Nice.
for a big brand, brand that all of us have worn in our lives.
He's talking about Boar's Head.
Right, Boar's Head Meats. Oh, I wish it was Boar's Head Meats. It wasn't. But we got paid so little. And I asked like in the email to the producers, I'm like, great, could you cover our Ubers to and from the shoot? And they wrote back and said, no. Oh. Like that's how little we were getting paid. They wouldn't cover our Ubers. And this is a international brand. And so like, you sort of, you get used to being taken advantage of, and you get used to not feeling special, and you get used to with these gigs feeling like what you do is so stupid.
Well, and also that you're lucky that you're here.
Yeah.
You're lucky you got this, because I could have 100 people.
Because we let people forget that we have a gift for something that they don't have.
Yeah.
And so these fucking stupid jobs and gigs, we allow ourselves to accept this money because it's their job to get us to do it for as least as possible. But like forgetting that and doing these jobs for no munties really makes you feel like what you do is stupid.
Yeah.
And like the thing you love that you're good at is dumb and worthless.
Well, sometimes you also don't know what you're walking into. So it's like you can't even say no to it because you show up and you're like, oh, this fucking sucks. I did something recently where they were like, oh, can you do a bunch of VO at the end of the day? And I was like, sure. So I did it. And then like when I had to invoice to get paid, it took so long. And they were like, you can't invoice through your LLC. The people who I was on an email with treated me like shit. And I was like, I just said I could do voiceover for free for you.
I mean, I think you also forget. I mean, this is also like another. I love having this conversation. You guys.
Oh, yeah,
this is so fun. I also think that people who have not been able to pursue their creative passion, who are not always, because I have a lot of friends and colleagues who are really passionate about their careers in production and
which
stuff.
is so beautiful,
amazing.
Yes,
and it's artistry, and like I'm in awe of like I couldn't do what they do, but there are some people who work in production who would rather be doing what we're doing.
Yes,
and they are so miserable.
Yeah.
And people in like stuck in office jobs in general, people who like weren't able to who weren't able or didn't have the means or weren't as insane or needed some stability and couldn't like commit to the insane lifestyle we all live. After a certain amount of years, it grinds in you doing something that you really hate, that makes you sad. So I think we're very lucky that we get to do, like we had the freedom to do it, even in the weird, hard lives we've had. But
totally.
Yeah.
Like there's also something to that where we're also so lucky that you're so grateful they're offering you any money.
Yeah.
That at a certain point you're like, oh man, what am I doing this for? Am I doing this for the money? Am I doing this for like the love of the actual like joy of it all? And like, are these jobs that?
No. Yeah.
It's like, ugh.
A lot of times they're not.
Yeah,
No,
very
they're
few
not.
times
And
they are.
usually if something happens, all I care about, I go, who's doing it?
Yeah.
That's legit. That's all I care about.
Just who am I going to hang out with?
yeah, who's going to be there
That
I get
first
to
email where they send the people's names, it's like,
and if you see
God.
somebody, you can text them. Yes, we're doing this together.
Yeah.
That's all I actually, when I see anything, I'm like, I just care about who's going to be there, which shows you like what's actually important.
Yeah, it's true.
Because I've done something and been alone on a set. It's the saddest feeling.
Miserable.
And they push you through and push you home.
It's brutal.
And you have some like PA with you, and they're like 12 years old.
Yeah.
And they fucking hate you.
Yeah, and they yell at you because you forgot to announce
And they
yourself
abandon you
as
for
talent.
hours. Yeah, they don't tell you when they're going to need you. It's like, you sitting in this fucking tin can of a fucking stupid trailer.
Can I go get a coffee? No, I'll get it for you. 3 hours later.
They never come back.
A cold fucking coffee with milk. You ask for a black. Fuck my life.
Oh, how fun. What a glamorous life it is.
Sure.
Then like all for that to walk on and say something like, the file you look for, boss? And like leaving. It's like,
Sure, at least you could do that. I can't even I'm not even believable.
I have not done that.
You haven't? For me, it's like I can't. I would like bumble my way through that shit.
That's me too.
Yeah. Oh my god.
If there's also like any ego involved in the production at all, then it like trickles down. And so it's like, if anybody, like if somebody's getting treated like shit, they will treat you like shit. And it's like, then everybody's just treating each other like
And
shit.
the craziest part of this whole thing is there's so much hardship around you doing these things that no one talks about, right?
Yeah.
But then when you lose your agent, you're like, oh, I might not get to do these things that I have so many complaints about.
Yeah. I can't even go in for a bitchy gay secretary on some fucking Zach Braff movie.
Not even a name. Not
Oh my
even
god!
A name.
It's even those opportunities and like the chances to do that stuff are gone, and then you're like, truly, what am I doing?
Yeah.
You're like, wait, I can't even do the things I hate to do that I need to do.
But also, it gets you to the point too where it's like, would that have made me happy to do? Like, or was that just like a strategic move to go in for those stupid things? That doesn't seem like that's like the passion first sort of way of going about it. Like it's the way we've been going about it.
Right.
But it's also the way we've been trained to go about it.
You can't
like
tell that to an agency. You can't say, hey, I don't want to do this.
But
and
if you
this
give yourself a bunch of brain space and some time off, and you're a creative professional who like has committed to this life, and you really do love it, and you have something to say, and you have a brain that's unique and weird, and you can like do stuff on your own, why wouldn't you take like the Tracy Morgan approach and just like be fully your own gig and let someone else grab you the way you are?
It's scary.
Yeah, it's impossible.
It's
exactly.
very scary.
I get in my own way.
Yeah.
Me too.
It's impossible because you feel like you're doing it wrong.
Yeah. Because we were taught that you're doing it wrong.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I get jealous of those people too when I
Yeah,
see them and they're
totally.
just like, I'm it. I got it.
Oh my God, Jeff Hiller is that person. I don't hate him,
Yeah.
but he's just so naturally
I'm jealous.
himself,
Yeah.
and he's just so good. And like, really, I like hope that's what someone will eventually say about me in my life. But
That's the goal, right? Like,
yeah. Like, oh my God,
What do you
he's
mean?
just
They
so
already
good.
fucking say
Oh,
that.
yeah,
Oh,
but-
that's
yeah.
nice.
No, shut
I
the
wasn't
fuck
fishing.
up.
I wasn't fishing. I
No, I
promise.
don't think you were. But I genuinely meant what I said before about like watching you and being like, oh, that's what I want to do.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah, so fuck off.
Brought to you by Boar's Head Meat. Boar's Head, dig in.
That would be such. If literally someone brought me, hey, I got a sandwich for you. I go, what type of meat? They go, I
You
don't
would
know.
ask the kind of meat.
Yeah, I go, what type of meat you use? And they go, I don't know. I go, if it's not boar's head, fuck off.
They can lift this footage and put it right in the commercial now, and we give authorization.
Literally, I would be pandering to the audience that loves boar's head, and the person will go, I know that feeling.
if it's not Boar's Head, fuck off.
If it's not boar's head, go fuck yourself.
I love that your mom would point out the Boar's Head signs. She might be the only person on earth who does that. Or is that a thing?
No way, dude.
Wait.
Impossible.
No.
I knew families that they would come home and they literally would go, I got boar's head. They wouldn't even
No
say.
way.
They wouldn't even say, oh, I got some turkey. They go, oh, I got some boar's head.
What?
Yeah.
Oh my God. Maybe my parents just
I
ate
know
like poor
families who,
people.
like, at their birthday party, nothing but Boar's Head.
It was.
We're having a Boar's Head birthday party for Sebastian. Come over.
Put some candles in a Boar's Head.
That's what when Subway came out, the restaurants, not the actual system. So when Subway, the restaurant came out, my mom goes, I like it. The deals are good. She goes, but the meat's no good.
That rhymes. That should be like the Subway's competitions slogan.
Yes. Who's the competition of Subway, though?
Quiznos?
Yeah, not even, bro. They don't even.
Jimmy John's?
None of them stay in the competition.
Really?
Yeah, but
I like
also
Subway.
Subway's fine.
Subway is not real food though. Subway,
No.
the bread is made completely out of like melted down Barbie parts.
Well-
there's no piece of bread that looks or smells like
Their
that.
slogan was we're getting better. For a while. They knew that they were making their shit out of yoga mats. Their spokesman was a pedophile.
Yeah.
They're like, but we're not gonna quit. We're
They're
gonna
committing.
keep moving
They're
forward.
committing to the yellow and bright green combo too, which is a misstep. Someone needs to be fired for that right there. Abandon the yellow. It's not cute. We don't love it.
No, it's not.
They keep expanding somehow too. I think
mean-
it's just like because they're like a foot long sub is a nickel.
Yeah.
and then you're like,
No,
and
they're
then
expensive now, dude.
The profit margin must be miserable for those restaurants.
Really?
Like,
They're
what am I
expensive?
talking about
Yeah, dude.
profit margins?
Yeah,
for?
yeah.
Oh
Do you
my.
want to talk about that?
Someone's a franchisee.
No, I
Let's
got
open a
Subway.
fucking Subway, guys.
I got a Subway. It was
What are
like
we doing?
$14 for a fucking sandwich and a drink.
Really?
I go fuck off. I go, this isn't even good.
Not even Boar's Head meat.
It isn't even Boar's Head.
The only good thing is, you know what I learned now?
I came to a Subway and both of my arms I was carrying Boar's Head.
I go, can
I
you
asked
throw
for the
these in the bread?
I brought my own meat. It's Boar's Head.
Literally, if you could, my new secret is, this is my new secret.
Uh-oh.
Okay,
Here we
everyone
go.
listen up. This
Welcome to
is
Spencer's.
listen.
Oh, so Spencer's secret. Who's
Oh my
Spencer?
God.
Spencer's secret.
Who's Spencer? That's the character.
Oh, this is this character, the whisper. The whisper.
Spencer's
ASMR
secret.
Spencer.
So if you go to so what's good about Subway? This is actually wild. What's good about Subway is the toppings, right?
Yeah.
You get to put whatever you want. But here's the deal: now most nice delis have a salad bar, so you can literally put whatever you want from the salad bar on the sandwich.
and
Tell
support
them.
a local bodega at the same time.
That's what I'm saying.
But bodegas also, some of them crush it.
Yeah.
So good.
Oh, there's a couple places. I live in Queens where they have they buy their bread from like a local corner Italian bakery.
Ugh.
And so it doesn't get better.
Yeah.
It's like if you want to buy more local, eat your bodega.
Yeah, I used to go to this bagel store. You know how I knew it was good? They would make bagels and then they would just close the store when they were done
Yeah.
selling the bagels.
Yeah.
That's a fucking store. They don't have hours. They have product and
We're
then
out.
they get rid of it.
We're out. We're done.
They were the
We're
coke
done.
dealers of fucking bagels.
We're done.
They're like, we
We're
got
not cooking none no
That's it.
more. We're done.
They're like, hit me up tomorrow. Maybe I'll get bagels tomorrow. I can't make no promises.
Get here early if you want something. I'm done.
Yeah.
I'm out.
You guys know Parisi's around the corner from here, and they do the exact same thing.
Yeah.
and
That's
they
fire.
ship fucking Sinatra used to get.
Parisi's is
that-
in Astoria. It's right by my house.
Yeah, oh, they have another one.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think the original one might be in Astoria.
Oh, really?
Whoa.
So not just
damn.
from Astoria.
Okay, really? Well, okay.
Thank you, miss.
So what would they do with Sinatra?
They shipped him. They flew him out bread. to Vegas, and they also flew bread to like presidents, like multiple presidents.
I mean, there's a bunch of bakeries in the story that are in Queens, and like I'm sure all over the fucking city, they have the goods that aren't melted down yoga mats. But I love that cold cut combo now featuring boar's head beat.
I also just want to jump back and be like, I did get to do something recently that was like so creatively fulfilling, and it felt so fucking wonderful.
Yeah,
it's so, when it's good, it's like the best thing in the world.
I mean, I think we do all these jobs that are sort of in the same vein, and we're sort of told by the industry who like is not creative enough to like whatever.
Yeah.
They're good at emails.
Sure. I'd be right. Man.
That's what they have.
They're way better than us at
That's
emails.
the reason to have like a manager alone is to have someone else email for you.
Oh God, please.
But no, we sort of are told we have to be all these different things. And at a certain point, like you realize that all these different things aren't the thing you picked ever. It's like, why am I doing all these things when none of this relates to the thing that I really love? I mean, it does like in like a spider web sort of way, but like letting go of all that shit and just being like, hey, I'm just gonna do the only thing that I want to be doing.
Yeah.
And if I'm
so
gonna
much freedom
if I'm gonna be bartending anyway, would I rather be bartending and doing my own shit and figuring stuff out again and getting back to like what brings me joy, or would I rather be bartending and fucking selling farts on some weird internet TV channel,
right,
and hosting a fucking sponsored content talk show?
There is sort of a home shopping network for farts now where you can sell.
You guys, please tune in. Please tune in to Fart TV.
Fart TV.
Every Thursday with Toot Time with Tim.
And Squeak Time with Spencer. Hi,
and Soft Spencer.
Hi. Well, I'm going to be letting some squeaky farts.
The FBI is going to show up looking for fucking
it's going to be in stereo. So tune your ASMR Spencer.
Tim, thank you so much for doing the show, man.
Buddies.
I really appreciate it. We appreciate you coming.
Yeah, sorry
down.
we got like deep in it.
It was great.
What do you mean, sorry?
I loved it.
I need to hear this from you.
Great.
Yeah.
I need to, because you're so funny, and and this is so hard.
Yeah.
This is so hard,
Yeah.
and to see someone that you go, oh, I go, you're so fucking funny. So it's good to know that it's hard for everyone.
Thanks,
I
man.
hate to sound like it's good to know it's hard for you,
I
but
think
like,
no one really. You're not allowed to talk about it either. That's the weird
sure,
other
I would
part.
never ask you in person.
So it's. I mean, if hey, listen, if this is you and you feel seen, I'm Spencer. Tune in to Two Time TV with Tim.
Do you want to plug anything?
No.
Great. See, that's exactly your life right now.
For this episode, we're not going to plug anything.
Yeah, fuck that. All right.
Love you. Bye.
Bye.
Thank you for listening to Who You Were. Please subscribe, rate, and review. Guest before and after pics on Instagram @Who You Were Podcast. Send your before and after pics to whoyouwerepodcast@gmail.com. Follow us on Twitter @WhoYouWerePodcast. This podcast is produced independently. If you'd like to support it, please visit patreon.com/Patrick Noth. Thanks for listening. Thanks for listening.